All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody tuning in to PRL Tier 1. Glad to be back with you guys. This is TAC Delta reporting to you from Portugal. We're going to hop on board with Yuppie here. Solid Tier 2 champion, holding it down in Tier 1 right now, holding that second place in the Drivers' Championship. This is round 11 in Portugal. So if drivers want to go for the championship, now is the time to do it. Yuppie down on Ankbank, 143 points. Ankbank, the current leader in the Drivers' Championship with 391 points. Quite a total from Ankbank. Really a strong driver here in T2. So, going to be a challenge for sure. But Yuppie's championship run in Tier 2 a couple seasons back, actually he came from quite a ways down and recovered. So, making miracles are nothing new for Yuppie. Quick weather report. So a 30% chance rain here in qualifying, so I bet we will see a lot of drivers out. Looks like we're kind of slowing up here to get some spacing, but 30% chance of rain here, so I'm sure we'll see plenty of people out on the track trying to get their lap times put in. Okay, so we are live. Oh, Suzuki has been disqualified for the wrong way. Sounds like something very similar that happened to Cali Rob in the previous qualifying. So really an issue here at the Portimao track. It's so spacious, but in that sense, if the car gets loose, it can put you the wrong way. So really unfortunate for Suzuki. Did not deserve that in the slightest. Let's see if we can find who is out and running. Looks like Share Shaft is going to be the first one to put a lap down for us. So we'll ride on board. We're also getting a report that Monkey Pill will be joining us in the other Aston Martin halfway through the session. Had to make a quick last-minute comfort stop, as Kimi Räikkönen has familiarized us with. So, but we'll be seeing Monkey Pill join the grid here shortly. So, Frosty retired from the session. Not sure exactly what happened. See if we can hop on board with somebody who can show us. Grumpy's not going to have the perspective. The next one will be a McLaren. Ankbank, if the car is still there, we'll be able to get a good look at what happened here. Not entirely sure. That's an odd spot for a retirement. We'll be on the left side of the track, just up here, at the top of the hill. Wow, really strange spot for the car to be stopped. So maybe coming up the hill, got a little loose, got on the gas a little too early, maybe, or locked up in the brakes and tried to correct with the gas and put off the edge there. So unfortunate for Frosty and Suzuki out early in qualifying. Shame for those two drivers. Speaking of, let's see, so this is Ankbank on the out lap. Let's go ahead and let Ankbank take us on a quick tour. So coming down this long straight here, DRS opens right as you peak that hill. And not a super long front straight. Come into this braking zone kind of heavy. You want to get close to that curb, but you don't want to be on it. It will throw you wide. Go through that little double apex and take a hard right-hander. You want to get on the gas early here, but not too aggressively as you'll spin off that curb there on the left. Watch track limits on the right. Get into another DRS zone. We'll come down the hill, brake late, but not too late as it's downhill, so you'll struggle to get the car stopped. Take the hairpin. Again, you want to get back on the gas. You want to get there early, but you don't want to be sending the car loose. So quick little blip down, little double blip there to take that right-hander. And now this is a spot where I certainly would struggle getting back on the gas. The left rear tire gets a little light, hard to get on the gas. Coming up top at Ankbank, taking a line through the middle of the corner there. hug this inside tight, and it'll give you a little bit extra time. Coming up to another hairpin-ish corner, drop into third gear. Ankbank will move up the gears. You got this last final right-hander. You have to get it just right. It's like the back straight in China. You have to get the approach just right. So I have Ankbank coming down to the line now. Hit the DRS, and that's across the line. And no time. That must have been an outlap. Well, entertaining nonetheless. We've learned the lap well there. It's a little embarrassing. Let's look at who has set a lap while we're waiting for Ankbank to finish the tour of the circuit. So Tambar is currently sitting on pole with a 16.8, followed by his teammate Oscar with a 17.0. Stevie the TV with a 17.5, and Cher Shaft takes the 4th position currently with a 117.9. I think these guys will go a little bit quicker. Tier 1 certainly has the capability to be faster. Just a, excuse me. Just setting some banker laps, getting something in safe just in case the rain does come. 30% chance of rain for this session. Looks like Stevie the TV on a charging lap. We see Monkey Pill is now joined into the session, so should be hopping into that Aston Martin here. And Monkey will want to get out and get those laps set quickly. Doesn't want to wait around too long. So I'll be curious to see what Stevie the TV can do here. These are now the 3rd lap, I believe, not including the outlap these tires will be on. So tires, soft tires can hold up here. They will lose their time, but they'll still hold their construction and not totally fall off a cliff. But certainly the most sensitive of the tires. This little complex here is actually very interesting. I think there's many lines that could be taken through there, and each one is quicker depending on who's driving it. Really a section of the track that is left open to interpretation. Of course, there is one outright fastest way, but for now, with this being a new track in PRL, I don't think the drivers have quite sorted that one out yet. Stevie the TV with the best time in Sector 2, coming in tight to the line, and will improve by 75 thousandths. So not much improvement. Looks like we have a car off the track farther down. No, just people letting others by. I did think that I saw a handful of raindrops on Stevie's cam here. Let's see if we can get a pit lane view. No, everybody's out. Usually with the pit lane where the camera stays still, it's a little bit easier to see the raindrops. I'm not seeing any rain in the pit lane, so we might be okay. It looks like somebody, maybe Jordy Culpers? Yeah, Jordy Culpers out cutting the grass, helping the groundskeepers here in Portimao. They will probably get charged up and get ready to go out for another. Looks like they have plenty of ERS to spare. As long as the tires are ready to go, I think Jordy will be okay. We'll just go out for another. No, Jordy's going to come in. Wants fresh tires, maybe needs more fuel. So let's see who else is out. Sounds like a Merc getting ready to cross the line. Disgruntled Mumpet jumping Yuppie by just a handful of tenths. Who else do we have on track? I think that is going to be maybe that was Stevie coming in. Who else do we have out on track? Spoolin diving into the pits. The Mercedes behind him of Yuppie. Yuppie jumps up to 6th with a 17.9. Decent lap from Yuppie. Let's see who else we have. Looks like an Alfa Romeo. Sorry, an Alfa Tauri getting ready to cross the line. Doesn't seem to improve. Looking to see who else we have here on a flyer. Maybe Cher Shaft. No, Cher Shaft coming into the pits. Cher Shaft has had his run. Looks like Ali Bada, maybe, if we can get on board quickly. Ali Bada, nope, he beat me to it. Ali Bada has gone up to 8th with that quali lap. So we'll see Grumpy Old Catman, a Tier 2 alum, always incredibly consistent driver. You know, the old doesn't have to do just with age. Grumpy is quite the wise driver, always knows how to do a setup, never shares too many secrets, of course. Don't want to give the competition too much of an edge. Darludo there getting out of the way, very kind. Let's hang out on board with Grumpy. Monkey Pill's already retired from the session. Not sure who we'll get to see on board with. Looks like they've just gone straight off at the end of turn 1. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I want to stay with Grumpy. We'll see what kind of time Grumpy can set. But odd to see Monkey Pill stricken off the track up there. There's a lot of runoff in that section, so not entirely sure what happened. We'll see if we can maybe get a view from Grumpy. Looks like straight into the barriers, so maybe Monkey Pill just lost focus and ran straight off into the barriers there. Unfortunate for all three of the drivers here who are out. Grumpy was able to improve by, I believe, about 7/10, so good lap from Grumpy. Now staying out of the way as one of the McLarens flies by, looks like Ank Bank. And that is, I believe, Mopal Cowboy, putting it up into third on the 117. Meanwhile, Tambar has gone ahead and broken into the 16s now. I think this is where we're going to see a lot of drivers sit in the mid to high 16s by the end of this. Closing in on just under 6 minutes left in the session. We'll see drivers probably starting to just come back in and settle down for their final few running laps. Stevie the TV out on a fast lap, runs way wide. That will invalidate his lap, which he was up about a 10th on, so a shame there, but charge up, go for the next one. Let's see who else we have out on the track. I see the McLaren of Ank Bank. Ank Bank already down 3/10. 3/10 on the lap time, so already challenging Tambar for that provisional pole. Both of the AlphaTauris sitting in the pits, probably planning their last little move out here. I'm sure we'll see them emerge soon. Ooh, Ank Bank getting a little loose there. That curb is not friendly. You can try it, but usually with no luck. And getting a little loose at the top of the hill, I would not be surprised if Ank Bank decided to just go ahead and abandon this one and charge up for the next lap. Or maybe hurry back to the pits and get fresh tires, but yeah, already up 1.3 seconds, so this is not going to be Ank Bank's lap. Stevie TV coming across the line, didn't have any improvements. Invalidated on the previous. We were just on board with Stevie. Let's see who else we have running. Maybe Spoolendub. I'll see Spoolin on a hot lap. Keeping it just inside the lines here, coming onto the first DRS straight. Down 2/10 on previous times, so that's good. Looking to improve here. Coming over that hill is so tricky. You have to be careful with your power application. Little too much, and you will for sure spin up there at the top, as Ank Bank figured out. Close with the track limits there for Spoolendub, but keeping it just within the lines. Great work. Spoolendub, another T2 graduate, did a couple races alongside Spoolin, was always super quick. So great work from Spoolin. Reached that deploy limit on this run down to the straight. Will improve by a 10th. Spoolin probably wanted a little more than that, but I'm sure he will take what he can get. Grumpy has retired from the session. Is that in the pits or on the track? It looks to be on the track. Ali Bottom might give us a look here. That was, I think, Destroyer sitting on the inside. So no, Grumpy is retired in the pits. Grumpy's decided that that's his time. He's going to hold on to it. Not going to waste another set of tires. Going to save him up for the race. So let's see. Jesper is on an out lap, getting ready to come across the line. And I think we'll see most drivers here preparing to start their final few running laps here. Let's see, it seems like we have a Haas stop. It's not Spooglin. Must be Darludo. Darludo must have had some kind of issue here. We'll see if we can see. Oh, yes. Darludo abandoned on the track there. Got a little too aggressive getting onto that DRS straight, and that will spin you for sure. So, tough luck there. We'll keep eyes with Jesper here. See how Jesper can fare after his teammate had a strange retirement on their initial outlap. Jesper up 0.6 on the time, so Jesper really happy, smiling ear to ear in that cockpit, knowing he's about to jump up about 5 places. Jesper actually just coming off of reserving in the Premier Tier race, so good on Jesper. Jesper's going to hold it tight to the inside. And we'll go up to 4th. Wow. Amazing. Pulled a full second out of that lap. Great time from Jesper. Just knocking at the door of the 16s. But so far, Tambar's been the only one who's allowed to enter. So we'll see. It looks like Tambar's Tambar's on an invalidated. And Oscar is starting a new flying lap. We got about 30 seconds left in qualifying. You can see a train of cars gathering in Sector 3. All getting ready to come and start their laps. It looks like, who's at the back of that? Is it Ankbank? No, Ankbank's at the front of it. Alibada's in the back of it. So will Alibada be able to cross the line in time to start a fresh lap? It looks like yes. So Alibada will get out. That's great. That means that Tambar, with the invalidation, Tambar will not set a new lap. So that's Tambar's qualifying over. Who is next? Who is out there? Looks like Sheriff Shaft, who has had a lap invalidation. So let's see. That means Oscar will be our next driver to cross the line. Oscar looking to improve. Didn't see the Sector 2 improvements. So we'll see what Oscar is able to do here. That deploy used up at the line. That's not going to help. Oscar able to break into the 16s, but not make a major improvement. Jesper going ahead and bringing it in. Qualifying over there. Looks like Jordy is going to be our next across the line. Jordy's on a good lap. See, able to improve by 0.4. Great for Jordy there. Alibada is going to be our next one across the line. We'll see what Alibada can do here. Alibada gains a 10th, moves up just a little bit. Looks like somebody has gone way off on Mercedes there. And who will we have coming across the line next? Looks like one of the AlphaTauris, not entirely sure. Yuppie diving into the pits. Pretty disappointing qualifying for Yuppie, having that spin late. Destroyer looks to be low on fuel. Yeah, and coming into the pits. I believe that wraps up everybody's qualifying. I'm not sure who else is still out. Maybe JH. JH coming into the pits as well. So I think that will wrap up our qualifying. That'll put Tambar and Oscar with an AlphaTauri front row lockout. Getting just inside the 16.9s. 16.8 for Tambar. Ankbank taking the 16.9 on the 3rd spot on the grid. The last driver to pull out of the 17s, get into the 16s. Let's see who else we have running around here. Sounds like maybe Stevie. Stevie, coincidentally, the driver in taking 4th on the grid, followed by Jesper in 5th place. So solid qualifying from the drivers here. We'll have Tambar and Oscar lining up on the front row. Again, that AlphaTauri lockout. Followed by Ankbank and Stevie the TV. Jesper and Deno will fill the 3rd row. Share Shaft and Destroyer on the 4th. Mopao Cowboy and Alibata on the 5th row. Followed by Yuppie, Yordi, Disgruntled Mumpet, Grumpy Old Catman, JH, Spoolendub, Darludo, and the 3 unable to set a time, Monkey, Frosty, and Suzuki. So that will wrap up our qualifying. Looking forward to a dry race. Should be quite exciting. Be great to see these guys get going. Now the drivers are going to take 2 minutes here. They're going to take 2 minutes for a little break. Any other remaining comfort breaks needed. Also take some time to set their strategies, work with their teammates. In the meantime, I'll walk you guys through some of our interviews conducted recently. One thing to talk about here is this being halfway through the championship. We reached out to a few drivers and asked what they thought in terms of the championship and who is the top contender. Yuppie, are currently sitting in 2nd, has actually a lot of confidence in Oscar sitting in the 4th. So thinking that if Oscar can keep it consistent, Oscar can use his speed, which we saw with the AlphaTauri front row lockout. If Oscar can build up some consistency, then Yuppie thinks that Oscar could be a shoo-in for the championship. Reaching out to a few other drivers, Tambar, the driver sitting on pole, feels that Ankbank and Oscar are definitely the favorites, with Yuppie sitting in as the underdog, perhaps a dark horse in this race. But Tambar and Oscar both being on the AlphaTauri team, they will support each other. Tambar going to help push Oscar to that Drivers' Championship as much as possible. Moving to Oscar himself, certainly believes that it might be possible, but looking at Ankbank as being the championship, Ankbank saying something very similar in terms of going for it, but trying to hold back Oscar from the Drivers' Championship here towards the end. Quite a gap between Oscar and Ankbank, sitting in the neighborhood of 180 points. So with PRL's point structure, we reward drivers a little bit more than Formula One does for winning races, and we also reward drivers after 10th place for finishing the race. So certainly anything is possible. A couple DNFs from Ankbank and a couple wins from Oscar can certainly turn the tides of this race. So with that, the drivers seem to have finished up their strategy runs with the engineering team. Everybody's back in the car, strapped in, and we're going to go to the grid for the formation lap. Looks like everybody will get off the line just fine. Again, with this AlphaTauri lockout, they look strong to be able to hold. Tambar said he's going to support Oscar in the championship, but Tambar's now leading the race, so we'll see exactly how that goes. The drivers are pretty closely matched in speed. I think Oscar does tend to have a little more race pace, but again, that will be for them to decide with each other. Looking back, we also have Ankbank also throw up the pit stop strategy. Let's take a quick look. So Amazon Web Services is telling us it'll definitely be a 2-stopper, and medium tires are the ones to finish the race with. What you want to take for your second stint is personal choice, if you want to hop on the softs or the mediums. I think, myself personally, it just depends on safety cars and whatever else may be going on in the race. Portugal, we actually don't see very many safety cars. In Premier Tier, we had, I think, 1, maybe 2 virtual safety cars, but no full safety cars. So the chance of getting lucky, getting a safety car, and getting into the pits on that is not going to be very easy. Not really a viable strategy. I certainly wouldn't bet on it. So they'll come around here now, running through the 3rd sector. Let's look at some of our other drivers to keep an eye on. Cher Shaft ran in the Premier Tier race just a few minutes ago. Did not complete the race, ran into some troubles with those soft tires. Granted, he did push them 18 laps, well beyond their abilities. So Cher Shaft just kind of maybe experimenting around a little bit in a higher tier. One last driver I want to look at just before we get ready to go to lights out as we navigate down the grid here. I want to keep an eye on Suzuki. Okay, Suzuki has had issues in the past with some consistency, but Suzuki is a very, very quick driver. So I think Suzuki has, the opportunity here to make a big stand, especially on those medium tires. So with all the drivers in their spots on the grid, a full grid as pointed out by Rusty, let's get to the lights. So here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. Holding for quite a while on the grid. There they go. So coming off the start, we have a little bit of a little straight down here. Looks like Tambar getting away really well, and Ankbank kind of picking up. See some carbon fiber flying in the background. Stevie TV making up a few positions. Looks like mostly through turn 1 cleanly. Well done to Tier 1. Getting into the DRS straight. Ooh, looks like we've had a little spin there, maybe from Monkey Pill, I think, sitting in the back. Looks like a move going into the hairpin here for Jordi Kolpers. Will make it stick. Great work by Jordi. Frosty already picking up a penalty for track limits. That's unfortunate so early on in the race. Let's see who else we've got running here. Looks like Frosty and Spoolendub battling it out. Looks like Spoolendub will come out on top of that one. Spoolendub now looking ahead to who the next target is. Looks like it's Yuppie, but Yuppie wants to make the move on Disgruntled. So Portimao is a difficult track to overtake on. It'll be tough to do unless you're on the front straight. So we'll see what the drivers are able to do. Portimao is a good circuit for driving close. So it does give some excitement through the corners, but overtakes certainly not easy. Oh, it looks like Grumpy Old Catman has had an issue. We should come to that maybe into the pit wall. I'm not really sure what happened to Grumpy there, but Grumpy has retired from the session, and JH has died in the pits. Looks like Grumpy's missing some wing there. I think Monkey also missing some wing diving into the pits. See if we can get a view of the front wing here. And we've moved to a virtual safety car, giving the marshals time to remove Grumpy's stricken car. New wing for Monkey Pill there, so that works out well. Changes up the pit stop strategy now. Looks like Monkey is going to be looking to get onto the hard tires later on in the race. Let's jump back up and check in on our leaders. So Oscar, just behind Ankbank. Oscar did not get the greatest of starts. Tambar certainly got a leg up there, and Ankbank decided to fill the gap that was left behind. So, good move for Ankbank. The driver's staying awfully close during this virtual safety car period. Nobody wants to let anybody kind of get that advantage and get ahead. So, unfortunate for the guys in the back. They won't lose as much ground in the pit stop, but they're unable to... Ooh, Monkey Pill picking up a drive-through for speeding on the VSC. Tough penalty. Looks like Ankbank got a good jump on Tambar. DRS is enabled, has the ERS running too. Ooh, they get a little contact there. Ankbank's going to hold the inside though. Push Tambar out. And that's move done. So Ankbank moved into the lead. And it looks like Oscar coming up on the inside of Tambar here. We'll get a great battle from Stevie's view. That's hurt both of the AlphaTauris. Teamwork not really in the plans right now. Stevie the TV is going to make Tambar pay for that. And from the end of the last lap to this point in this lap, Tambar's dropped from first all the way down to fourth. So tough luck for Tambar here. Let's see who else we've got running. Looks like Jesper right up on Tambar, actually. Looking to maybe make a move before we get to the long straight. I see another car off. It looks to be maybe Suzuki has had a quick off. No, it's not Suzuki. I'm not sure which driver we had off the track there then. Maybe JH or Frosty. Let's move back up to the front, though. See if Jesper's able to make any ground on Tambar. Gonna have a nice DRS train forming up here at the front. All the cars, all the way back from first down to 11th. No more than 9/10 between any car. So, really a strong train here up in the front of the field. Looks like Destroyer's gonna try to take advantage of it, make a move around the outside on Jordy. Is it gonna work? He's off the track. He does make the move. Not sure if he'll have to give it back or not. They are fighting for it. And it looks like Frosty has actually gone off. Frosty's race looks to be done. Let's see if we can hop on board with Monkey and see where that car is. We're under another virtual safety car, so Monkey going to be driving around quite slow to avoid picking up another one of those penalties. I think we'll see Frosty up here. Yep, car back in the barriers. Same spot during qualifying, so that corner just not being very kind at all to Frosty. Monkey having just served that drive-through will be in good shape. Looks like Ankbank has just picked up a penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. Not sure exactly what happened there, as Ankbank was the leader. I'm sure we'll see that one in the steward's room for review. So we'll have the release from the virtual safety car here any minute, I would assume. And we saw drivers really able to take advantage of this. This is where Ankbank pulled the move. Looks like we're still going to hold on under virtual safety car. Stevie using his ERS, not sure the move there. There we go. Now we've come back and, ooh! Stevie and Oscar getting into it. Stevie now sitting in the middle of the track. Is he going to get hit? No, keeps that car off to the side. So Stevie the TV and Tambar kind of getting into it. I'm sure we'll see that one in the steward's room. Stevie the TV not going to be happy. Going to have quite an issue getting back into the pack. Drops all the way down to 11th position. Falls out of that train of soft tire runners. So unfortunate there for Stevie. Let's move up and check out Jesper. Looking to make a move on Share Shafts here, recently running through Premier. Getting some information from our viewers. Kelsey's analyzing that Ankbank penalty. That's a penalty that will probably end up being served in the pits. So really unfortunate for Ankbank. If the penalty doesn't get served in the pits, then it can usually be removed by the stewards if it's seen to have been given incorrectly. So unfortunate for Ankbank. They're going to have to drive with that penalty seemingly regardless, even though it didn't earn it himself. So good info there from our on-track correspondent. Jesper now with the ERS and DRS on Share Shaft. Going to go around the outside. Going to make this one look pretty easy. But Share Shaft, Share Shaft spins getting into the back of Jesper. Unfortunately, take a big hit there with Destroyer. Cars all over the track. Scary, scary moment for Share Shaft there. Luckily, everybody seems to be okay. All the cars are still running that were involved. I think they got into it there with Destroyer. And Destroyer seeming to not have any damage. Maybe it was Deno then. No, these cars looking okay. So I think Shershaft was the only one who took it there, unfortunately. Really scary incident there. Got to be careful trying to get back on the track. I'm sure we'll see that one in the steward's room as well, from one perspective or another. Hopping back on board here with Yordi. Going to be making to look a big move on the destroyer there. Destroyer getting a little bit of cheer from our loyal viewers here. Yordi's going to be looking to dampen those spirits, though. Has the DRS and the ERS going full blast. Destroyer's light's not on, so Destroyer using the ERS as well. Yordi has a slightly better slipstream, but not enough to make it happen. Both drivers closing in on Deno here. And Destroyer going to be looking to make the move in the DRS section here. Gets on those inside curbs. Those inside curbs can be really, really dangerous. Deno pulling all the way over to the left to break the slipstream. Smart driving there. Let's move up just ahead to Mopao Cowboy, chasing down Jesper. These two drivers keeping it close. Mopao Cowboy does have a penalty here. Only 3 seconds for track limits, so we'll have to drive through that, but can still make anything happen. Let's see here. Ooh, Yordi, we just got on board for a spin, so Yordi will drop down a couple of positions, nothing that can't be overcome as the race goes on. Suzuki taking a penalty for multiple track limit warnings, although Suzuki, like I said, up from the back, I told you he was one to watch as we watched Destroyer and Deno battle it through. I think Destroyer maybe had the move but wasn't so sure about it. Maybe still has a little bit of shell shock from seeing a Deno off the, an Alpine on the track, or at least a blue car. Destroyer would like to look for the inside, probably not going to happen there. Jesper still closing in on Mopao Cowboy. Let's take a quick moment. Let's take a look at our heroes and zeros of the race so far. So heroes, definitely Darludo and Suzuki up 9 and 8 positions respectively. Great drives from both of them. Like I said, Suzuki, he's quick. If he can keep it clean and consistent, Suzuki can turn that 20th into a 10th or even a 5th. So we'll hold on board. We'll keep an eye on Suzuki as we go throughout the race. In terms of the losers, definitely Stevie the TV. Having a rough spin, getting into it with Tambar, dropping down lots of positions there in the first sector. Really unfortunate for Stevie. I'm sure he'll be maybe looking to get some of those positions back in the steward's room, but that will be up to their decision. Let's hop back on board with Destroyer here, pardon that. Getting ready to make the overtake on Deno. Going down the inside, has the DRS. Doesn't even need any of his ERS. He's going to make the move happen right here. Move done. Off the track a little bit though, so maybe not move done. Deno coming up, looking for the inside. Not quite, and is that Darludo getting in on the action as well? It's so dangerous when you go for an overtake. You slow yourself and you slow the driver you're overtaking. It lets any driver from behind decide that they want to poke their head in. They have the opportunity to do it. Stevie the TV setting a fastest lap on the medium tire there. And it looks like other than drivers who have had to pit for damage, everybody's still out. So the soft tire runner is going to put in a couple more laps. Oscar taking in a 3-second penalty as well. It won't hurt Oscar quite as bad because Angbank has that 5-second, and the 5-second will definitely be served. Well, it will likely be served in the pits, which should be coming up here in just a couple laps. Soft tires are really going to start letting go, and that's what Darludo wants to hear because that will put him temporarily in the lead when the soft tire runners decide to dive in. Darludo actually doing well to have jumped Jordy Culpers and Ali Bada, both soft tire runners. That'll be good for their strategy. Darludo actually kind of making a move to get in here on Deno. Wants to get in. Isn't quite going to make it happen this time. Let's check in on Mopowa Cowboy. It looks like Jesper has now overtaken Mopowa, so good on Jesper. Mopowa is going to be looking for that position back, though. That's for sure. Looks like as we switched from one battle to another, we've missed Deno and Darludo still going at it. Looking like Deno deciding to concede it to Darludo. So another good move from Darludo, getting up into 7th position on those medium tires. That's really going to help well for their race because most of the soft tire runners, when they pit, will still stay behind. Okay. Let's see who else we have out battling on track. It looks like Tambar closing in on Oscar. Jesper and more Power Cowboys still going at it. Let's see what they can do here in the DRS straight. Neither one getting a super great exit. Jesper maybe getting a little bit better. Pops the ERS and the DRS. Going to look for the inside. It's going to be late. He's going to go for it. No, he's going to hold off. I'll get you next time, he says. Meanwhile, checking back in on Oscar and Tambar. I believe Tambar has gotten around Oscar now. So maybe Tambar playing some mind games in the interview there, saying, I'll help my teammate, I'll help my team. But jumping in front of Oscar here, who has generally been a little quicker in the races, is not really proving that. So we'll see how these two do. Meantime, Ankbank running away with it at the lead here with a 2.5 second gap. Are they ready for fresh tires? No, Ankbank isn't. Looks like Tambar and Oscar kind of tricking each other out about going into the pits. Oscar with the DRS and ERS going to go for the move on Tambar. Tambar, I'll let him have it. See, now we see a few of the soft runners coming in. Destroyer and Deno decide they've had enough. So they will dive into the pits for what tire? Looks like Destroyer going onto the hards and Deno going onto the mediums. So that'll be a good 1-to-1 comparison. We will be able to see who whose strategy will pay off better there. Let's check in. Well, let's see what these two can do as they come around to the DRS straight. I get a feeling these two are going to be battling along the straights. Which, as long as they can keep it clean, it's not too much of an issue. However, they will continually lose Ankbank, as Ankbank's got clean air and no one to battle. Coming down the straight here, Oscar does dive into the pits. Tambar will stay out. Ankbank also into the pits. Driver's doing well not to pick up penalties, so now Tambar will hold the lead, although I'm sure we'll see Tambar dive in on the next lap. Anybody else fancy fresh tires? It looks like Alibaba coming in. Hopefully does not stack up on the teammate there. No, Ankbank through, and Ankbank did have to serve that penalty. So Ankbank and Oscar both going onto the hard tire now. Alibaba going to take the mediums as opposed to the hard tire. So 3 drivers choosing to run the hards for the second half of this race, or rather their second stint. We're still not quite to the halfway mark. We'll see Mopowa Cowboy has kind of built up a little bit of a gap to Jesper now. These two have been battling for the majority of the first 13 laps here. And there goes Tambar into the pits for tires. Jesper will follow him in. So leaves Mopower Cowboy the last of the soft starters, as Jordi Kolpers also dives into the pits to get some fresh tires. Looks like we'll see medium tires for Jesper and Tambar. What will Jordi choose? Jordi wants the medium tires as well. And Jordi having a little bit of trouble getting out of the pits there, but does get away. So we'll see here between Deno and Destroyer. Looks like Destroyer making those hard tires work for this first little stint here. Also, worth noting that the overcut worked. No, excuse me. I believe it was the undercut for Tambar. Tambar was the first into the pits, I believe. No, Tambar was second into the pits, so it's an overcut. Overcut seeming to work well, already gapping Oscar by 1.2 seconds. However, those tires will wear down. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Now, Tambar does have, looks like we'll get some DRS off Disgruntled. And there it goes. So that will help him pull away further from Oscar, who does not have any DRS. Nor does Ank Bank. So the previous trio of leaders, only one of them running with DRS right now. And that would be Tambar. And with that move on Disgruntled Muppet, that will give him no one else for DRS as well. Let's check in with our current on-track leader, Mopower Cowboy, struggling with these soft tires. 14 laps old now, so Mopower is certainly trying to look to maybe go to a soft medium one-stopper. I don't think that's a very viable option, but maybe Mopower knows something that we don't. If that was the case, I would assume we'd see him dive in on this lap, holding tight to the inside. There he goes, in for fresh tires. So that leaves Darludo, who is the highest starting of the medium tire runners. Now this is where Darludo's strategy really needed to come into effect, passing 2 or 3 of the soft tire runners before the pit stops even began. So Darludo's going to be looking to take major advantage now of having the clean air. Looks like Darludo's built up a decent gap. May come out right behind Jesper, just looking at the pit deltas roughly. Let's take a look at where our action is. It looks like the action lies with Deno running again with Jordi Kolpers. And Alibaba also looking to make some gains on Stevie the TV. Now both of these drivers, I believe, have fallen back quite a bit. Alibaba usually starts up a little bit closer to the front with his teammate Ank Bank. Let's get a quick look here at the changes. Looks like you get some action in Sector 1. Maybe a spinner. I'm not sure who it would be. Maybe... No, I'm not really sure. And we have a safety car out now. Let's hop on board with who will give us a look. Looks like Darludo might be able to give us a look of what has happened. No, we won't see it. Disgruntled picking up a penalty going into the pits. They're a little too hot. Drivers looking to take major advantage of the safety car period here. Darludo going to want to get around track as fast as possible. Really wants to take advantage of the safety car period. It's exactly what he needed. So let's keep an eye on the gaps here. See just how far ahead Darludo can go. Now, Darludo doesn't want to pick up a delta penalty, so slowing up here at the top of the hill. But if Darludo can get around and get into the pits, they can really make this strategy work well and move up a good chunk of positions. Up 16 right now. Most of that is due to pit stops. But I think after the safety car, we'll see most people on fresh tires, and the pit stops will no longer be an excuse there. Let's check out and see. Yeah, so Darludo and Yuppie, the only two to not have made a stop yet, and they are one right behind the other. Oscar picking up a speeding penalty through the safety car, not what the AlphaTauri team needed on this one. So Darludo diving into the pits. How many drivers can he beat? I would say he'll probably get passed up by Yuppie and Tambar, but still might be able to come out ahead of Jesper. Yuppie pitting as well. I forgot he would need to do that, so maybe losing only a position to Tambar. So this would put Darludo in second place. Opting for the soft tire. This is a little risky. It's going to have trouble getting out of the pits. Not sure what happened there. So Darludo will cycle into fourth position. Still well done. Can he get out ahead of Destroyer? No, Destroyer is going to take a position as well. Still up quite a few positions for Darludo. That strategy worked well. Now, in terms of making the soft tires work, I'm not too sure. That's 15 laps on the soft tires. It is doable. It is doable. We saw Mopao Cowboy do 14 to 15 laps on their soft tires, and they're now holding third position. So they will now be looking to gather up behind the safety car. Most everybody on fresh tires, the one exception being Destroyer on those 5-lap-old hard tires. So let's get a quick refresher of the grid while we're under safety car. So Tambar holding the lead now, doing well up there. It'll be great for Tambar if they can hold it. Looks like Suzuki falling down the grid off the track. Unfortunate there for Suzuki, and disqualified for the wrong way. They say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, but it might strike the same person. Suzuki is out of this race for that spin. The top of the hill is so dangerous there if you spin. The game will say that you're going the wrong way, and it will disqualify you. So really tough luck for Suzuki. They were doing so well there. Really unfortunate to see Suzuki disqualified from the race and pushed to last position. Certainly something that the stewards will need to be looking at going into future races at Portimao. Looks like Darludo and Destroyer are kind of having a little back and forth here. Darludo needs to just hold that position behind Destroyer. Destroyer's getting a little antsy under the safety car. That can be kind of dangerous. You don't want to get too close and pick up some contact. The stewards definitely do not see safety car contact in a very light way. It carries quite a heavy penalty for the drivers, so we'll be looking to stay spaced out a little bit more, like Mopao Cowboy getting there out to the left side, just avoiding kind of everybody. So that's the way to do it here. So with our grid forming back up, I would assume this would be our last go around under the safety car for now. So Tambar leading, followed closely by Jesper, who has made up a handful of positions here. 3 positions up from the start. Mopao Cowboy carrying a penalty, but still up 6 positions. Destroyer up 4. Darludo up 12 positions. Worked really, really well with that medium tire strategy. Something to watch for the Tier 2 drivers preparing for their race in just under an hour, or maybe just over an hour. Jordi Koper's holding 6th place, moving up a handful of positions. Deno dropping just 1 position, but there's still plenty of race left to make it back, and a few penalties ahead. Let's get back with Tambar and see when Tambar's going to decide to go. Keeping him tight. There we go. There's the ERS, and he is gone, leaving the other drivers behind. We'll see if Jesper can get anything out of the slipstream going into the first few turns here. Not looking like it. Looking behind. Getting awfully close behind Mopal Cowboy here. Darludo looking for the move. Oh, that's risky to dive that hard, but made it work on Destroyer. Destroyer will not be happy about being pushed that wide. Looks like Jordi Gulper's also looking to make advantage of it. No. And Destroyer picking up a penalty for going off track. Jordi going to go up his inside. Not going to be able to make that stick. Jordi Gulper's not going to be very happy. Destroyer not going to be very happy with this little proceeding of events here. Picking up the off-track penalty as well as being pushed wide by Darludo and having to give up that position. So getting a little bit of info from the Red Bull garage, having some equipment issues up there in the Red Bull team, causing those massive spins for Suzuki. So very unlucky, very unfortunate for Suzuki, but looking up for the teammate there, Mopal Cowboy, to make a dent on the race. So tough luck for Suzuki, but being a good sport about it. As we see Jordi Gulper get into Destroyer and push him out a little bit, Jordi will drop a couple positions, 3 positions it looks like lost for that move, and Destroyer will just be happy to get him away. Destroyer always seeming to be kind of stuck up in these positions with traffic, so probably happy to have shaken off Jordi for the time being. But when you lose one, another usually comes along to replace it, and that one is Yuppie, who's going to take big advantage of Destroyer here, getting a little loose. They're going to be tight going into this corner. Yuppie's got the inside. Looks like Yuppie is going to try to hold it, but not quite. They're still battling going up the hill here. Destroyer might hold the inside for the hairpin. Yuppie's going to cut a switchback. It'll be whoever can get the best exit here. Destroyer doing everything he can to defend on those hard tires, but I think Yuppie on the softs is going to give it to him here on the front straight. Yuppie pulling a little bit of ERS to get him out of the corner. DRS enabled now. Looks like Destroyer is holding to the inside. Not going into the pits though. Just driving right alongside there, not giving Yuppie any assistance whatsoever. And he will file back in behind. Giving Yuppie plenty of room, but also no slipstream. So now Destroyer actually probably going to just hang out in Yuppie's slipstream. Knows he can't keep up with the soft tires, but if he can stay within the DRS, that will be helpful enough. Looks like Jordi Gulper's maybe having another incident here moving back. Sheriff Shaft coming in hot on the back of Stevie the TV and Ankbank. Tight little tussle here for 6th with them all stacked up behind Yuppie. Sorry, 5th with them all stacked up behind Yuppie. Sheriff Shaft going for the move on Ankbank, the championship leader. Can he make it stick? No! Spin for Sheriff Shaft. Scary incident. We've already seen Sheriff Shaft have a spin and get the front ripped off the car. Survives this one, luckily. So close call there for Share or Shaft. Let's check in with another battle here. Looks like Stevie the TV and Deno looking to get up on Destroyer. Destroyer running on those hard tires. Might be regretting it now as some of the guys on the mediums here are going to be right up on him. Deno making it look easy going for the move around Destroyer. Destroyer wants to fight back. Will he be able to on the hard tires? Maybe. He has the inside on Deno. Does Deno see him? Deno's going to give him the space. Really respectful racing between these two guys. Puts Destroyer on the outside. Does the switchback. Will have DRS and ERS. Going to go for the inside. Pull a late braking move on Deno. They're side by side. And it looks like Deno will cede that position temporarily. Deno not able to make it stick. Getting into the back of Destroyer there a little bit. They're going to go through this corner. Destroyer way on the inside, gives a little bump to Deno. Deno picking up a track limits penalty. Destroyer spins off the side of the track, right in the same spot as Share Shaft. Really a tough corner up there for drivers. The back end just goes light, hard to get the power down. When you do get the power down, it usually results in you spinning way out into the grass. So, unfortunate for Destroyer there falling off. The hard tire is just really not doing it for him. We've got 10 laps left in this exciting Tier 1 race. We've had a lot of action so far, and I feel like we've got a lot of action still to come. Darludo up to 4th position on those soft tires now. And Yuppie just behind, also on soft tires. So these two soft tire runners will be the ones to watch. Their tires are a little younger than the medium tire runners, but they're also going to fall away a little bit quicker. So if these guys can make it last to the end, it'll be a great move for them. Looks like Stevie the TV making it work in the DRS zone on Deno.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Nope. Let's see who else. Looks like we have Alibaba looking to make it work on Monkey Pill. Got a bunch of guys stacked up here. Ooh, that is Jordi Culpers spinning on the inside of the hairpin there. Trying to get the power down, just didn't play out for Jordi. So, tough break there. We've had, it seems like one driver take a spin every lap. So, maybe somebody out there on track shooting out tires we just can't see. So, keep an eye out, everyone. Tough luck for the drivers involved, though. Monkey Pill getting really close up on Disgruntled. Going to be looking to make it back after that that tough challenge. Getting really close there on the back of Disgruntled Muppet. No contact, though, it looks like. Monkey Pill, the front of the car, looking okay. Looks like Mopow Cowboy making the move on Jesper here on the front straight. And Darludo, looks like Darludo is going to be trying to do the same and makes it work. So now Darludo going to hunt down Mopow Cowboy. Darludo looking really good on this race. Just needs those soft tires to hold up. Ooh, a little bit of contact between the two there, Darludo and Mopow. That allows Jesper to come back with a vengeance. Looks like Disgruntled Muppet had another spin down in the first sector. Unfortunate there. Let's take a quick look at the the penalties thus far. So Darludo and Mopow are both carrying 3 seconds. So Darludo not going to be able to make it onto the podium unless he actually passes one of the 3 guys ahead of him. But Darludo going to be out there looking to take that for sure. Darludo having no podiums and no wins this season in Tier 1. We're under another safety car. I looked away at my screen for just 1 minute, and oh, getting really close to the safety car there. Risky. And that looks to be... couldn't catch the name. It's Oscar off to the side of the track. Tough race for Oscar. Drive through penalties, getting a poor start. Just was not Oscar's day at Portimao. So we're under our second safety car. And now we'll be looking to see, does anybody want to dive into the pits here and try to get something fresh? I don't think so. Maybe Darludo could get fresh softs, and maybe that's what they're trying to think over right now. Do they want to dive back into the pits, get better tires? They have that gap to spool and dub. They could probably make it work. They wouldn't have to worry about risking those soft tires. Looks like Yuppie did take the bait and go ahead and go into the pits to pick up some fresh softs. So we'll see how that plays out. Yuppie and Darludo kind of been the drivers to compare. They've had very similar races up to now. Darludo's slowing up to avoid picking up that penalty. So under a full safety car here, let's see who decides to dive into the pits. Looks like Tambar, Jesper, Darludo, all taking the bait, jumping into the pits. So this frees up Mopow Cowboy. I think he's going to end up regretting that decision. as the three guys behind him are going to have soft tires, fresh, and ready to rock. Who else is going to come into the pits? Spoolin making the move into the pits. Monkey Pill, what will Monkey Pill do? Monkey Pill will stay out on those hard tires. Would rather have the track position, as will Alibaba and Share or Shaft. But seeing both Darludo and Spoolin pit, here comes Yuppie on the soft tires, fresh, brand new. Yuppie making that strategy work well, pitting the lap before, making up a position or so. So that's Tambar, Jesper, Yuppie, Darludo, Stevie the TV, Deno, looks like Destroyer, and Yordi, and Disgruntled all deciding to come in, get some fresh, soft tires. And Spoolendub also onto fresh mediums. May not have had a pair of softs ready to go. So we have our safety car here. The pack's pretty spread out, so I assume we'll see the safety car finish them up this lap and next lap. So we will go green flag racing with 4 laps remaining. So it's definitely going to be a shootout of the soft runners here. Alibaba, Share Shaft, Monkey Pill, and Mopow Cowboy. I just don't feel they're going to have the speed advantage on those tires that they stayed out to preserve. It's tough to make these calls. Sometimes you don't know what the next person's going to do. If you pit and they don't, then you could drop back a few positions. You could be in trouble. But the driver behind usually has the advantage there because they're able to pit and then put pressure on the driver in front. Whereas the driver in front has to, if they do pit, they lose a position. If they don't pit, they could lose it here on track. So going to be tough for those drivers on the harder compounds. Let's take a quick look at the position changes. So Monkey Pill and Mopow really making it work, staying out on the tires. Same as Alibaba. They're up quite a few positions. Unfortunately, I don't think they will keep those. I think they will get passed up by some of the soft tire runners. Darludo also making up a few positions. Darludo on the soft tire now. Getting some fresh tires to help kind of finish this race off. Darludo was looking really strong there before the safety car, having been on the mediums, passed some of the soft tire runners, and was really looking in a good position. This pit stop has put him back a little bit with some of the other drivers as they have also pitted. However, Darludo might be able to make up a few positions on Share Shaft or Alibaba as they will be a little slow on those tires when we go back to green. Have not gotten the message about the safety car coming in. There it is. So safety car will be coming in on this lap. So we'll get ready to go back to green. Let's jump up to the front here with Mopow. See when he decides to strike. Gonna let the safety car get away. Give some room here. Weaving back and forth quite a bit. Mopow has to nail this perfectly in order to keep the drivers behind away. And he's gone. He's decided to take it here. And it looks like Tambar wanting to put those tires to work. Looks like Mopow has done it just right, keeping everyone back. Tambar going to look for the move on Monkey Pill. Doesn't take it there. There's some incident. Lap 1 contact. Looks like Yuppie has gone off track. Yuppie and Darludo, both drivers, getting into it back there. Tambar getting the move done on Monkey Pill. Mopow picking up more warnings. So not looking too good from Mopow's race. However, it looks like the soft tire runners, in an effort to try to get past some of these older tires, some of the older and harder tires, got tangled up with each other. So, unfortunately, didn't work too well for them. Looks like we've had another spinner. Yordi dropping back a handful of positions, but keeping the car moving. So now we'll watch Stevie the TV and Share Shaft hunting down Alibaba. getting real close there. Sheriff Shaft making those medium tires work well. They are old and they are a little bit of a harder compound than the softs, but still doing well. Sheriff Shaft actually making up a position here. Looks like Darludo has DNF'd. See if we can get, I don't know if we can get on board another safety car this late in the race. Let's see if Yuppie can give us a view of what happened. Off to the right side of the track there. Not sure how you get over there. Not entirely sure what has happened. Mopowa Cowboy diving into the pits. This is not the move. Not sure what Mopowa Cowboy is doing here. But Mopowa Cowboy has decided to come into the pits, and he will drop down the field like a rock. Unfortunate there for Mopowa Cowboy.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Not sure if they needed a fresh wing or what the case was there from Mopowa, but Mopowa has dropped from the top of the field, allowing Monkey Pill to move himself up. Now, we are under the safety car. The safety car may come in this lap. They usually like to try to get as many green flag laps towards the end of the race as possible. So, we will see. If Monkey is able to hold these guys off. Monkey also carrying around a penalty, I believe, for track limits. That's what it looks like to me. So Monkey may end up dropping back a little bit, but done well for himself considering starting in the back of the pack. If we look at the position changes, Monkey Pill up 16 positions. So major comeback race for Monkey Pill. Even if he loses a few here at the end, I think overall you can call this a successful race. For Monkey Pill, I think I would give him my preliminary Driver of the Day award. So under safety car, I think we would have heard by now if it was coming in, so we will probably take another trip around with it. That will put us with 2 green flag laps at the end of the race. Also giving Yuppie a chance to catch up. Yuppie, I believe, has slapped on some fresh soft tires. Yep. Soft tires yet again. So, Monkey Pill, Sheriff Shaft, and Alibaba here. The group that I definitely want to keep an eye on, as they are on harder tires and older tires than everyone else around them. So, will be interesting to see if they can hold off everybody else. Great race for Tambar. Only sitting 21 points behind Yuppie, with Yuppie at the back and Tambar at the front. Tambar might be able to overcome that and take second in the Drivers' Championship. Won't get close to Ankbank, though. Ankbank sitting a solid 164 points ahead of Tambar. So, Tambar will make some inroads on Ankbank, but certainly will not get him this race, the next race, or the race after that. In terms of Constructors' Championship and how that's starting to shape up, the McLaren team is holding up with 582 points, putting the AlphaTauri team second, a distant 147 points behind. So not looking too great in that stead for the AlphaTauri team. Looks like McLaren has that one in the bag, but with drivers as talented as Alibaba and Ankbank, you can understand why. Aston Martin is third in the Constructors' Championship, only 19 points off AlphaTauri. They may be able to make that up today, considering only one AlphaTauri is going to finish the race, with an Aston Martin right behind it, and an Aston Martin sitting in 7th place. So we're getting ready to go back here. Tambar needs to let the safety car kind of get out of the way before they'll think about starting. I think Rusty in the commentary hitting it right on the head. It's who can manage their tires the best on these last 2 laps. So we'll see. Tambar has gone on ahead, leaving Monkey Pill behind. There's some action going on here in the back of the pack, which is not entirely where I wanted to be. I wanted to be on board with Stevie and see if he can make these soft tires make the move on Sheriff Shaft or Monkey Pill. Is not able to do so. And Yuppie picking up another penalty. Looks like Yuppie has spun off the track and got tangled with Mopowa Cowboy. Those two sitting in the back. I doubt we'll see a safety car with only 2 laps to go. Those two will just have to sort it out themselves. Stevie going to go up the inside. Wants that position. Has a little bit of contact with Sheriff Shaft, but I think looking to make it stick. Is he going to all the way? It's close. Sheriff Shaft has some inside. Oh, a bump on Stevie the TV. That will not please him at all. We will certainly be seeing that one in the steward's room. In the meantime, though, Sheriff Shaft has to carry on. See if they can make any further inroads up. Looks like drivers getting all kinds of tangled up in the back of the grid there. Let's tune back in. Stevie having trouble getting it going. Yuppie spinning off as well with him. Let's get back up to the front for the final lap of the race. Tambar cleared everybody, no penalties. Tambar probably has this win in the bag unless they make a critical mistake. Hopefully that's not the commentator's curse working up. But Jesper making big inroads up on those soft tires, up from 7th all the way up to 4th on just 1 lap. So some of the drivers in front having incidents that helped out for sure, but Jesper doesn't mind that at all. He will gladly go try to fight for that podium. Now, himself and Monkey Pill, I believe, have the same amount of penalties. So it's going to have to get it done on track to get it done at all, but still a solid Aston Martin result. Perhaps solid enough to put them ahead of AlphaTauris in the Constructors' Championship. We shall see. Looks like Stevie the TV driving into the pits to get a wing fixed up for the last lap of the race. Sheriff Shaft really looking to make a move here on Monkey Pill. Doesn't necessarily need anything on track. Oh, it's getting close. Looks like Sheriff Shaft will be able to hold that position, so well done to him, taking the hard tire runner. However, that incident with Stevie could pull him back a position or two. We will see. Now, Jesper and Monkey Pill, the teammates, I would assume Monkey Pill is going to let Jesper go here. Monkey Pill is a smart driver, understands that his teammate has faster tires, and maybe can get up and make some inroads on Sheriff Shaft. Oh, no, that's the end of the race. The final lap. Apologies. It's been a long day for sure in the commentary box. Anyway, as they will come across the line, Tambar is your winner here, folks. Followed up by Sheriff Shaft on those old medium tires, Monkey Pill, with a great recovery race. Up, I believe, let's check the details here, if it will tell us. Nope. Up a lot of positions. Certainly the double digits, I believe 12. So great run there from Monkey Pill, our driver of the day. So a great race here in T1. We'll see our podium finishers come across. Great work from the drivers there. Very exciting race. My voice is gone. It is a good thing I do not have a third round of commentary. However, keeping you company in the next race will be Sheriff Shaft, second on the podium today. So our podium runners finishing the race at exactly 50 minutes. Tambar in first, followed by Sheriff Shaft and Monkey Pill to round out the podium. Jesper, Alivada, Jordy Culpers, Destroyer, Mopowa Cowboy, Ankbank, and Deno will round out the top 10 for this race. A great race here in T1 today. Lots of excitement, lots of drama. The stewards will be busy after this race for sure. But I thank you all for tuning in, hanging out. It's been a great race. Tune back in here in just under a half hour. Per Rosenberg, yes, it is possible to join the league. We will work with you on that. Anyway, with that concluding, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out, and we will see you next time.